Hello, my name is Keaton Davis, and today I'm presenting my final presentation, which is the Nonverbal in my World Reflection video. Throughout this class, I've been able to take a lot away that I can take into the real world and apply it to everyday situations. I've enjoyed learning and furthering my understandings on topics such as attraction, touch, eye contact, facial cues, and many more areas of nonverbal communication. In this presentation, I'm going to be going over a couple of areas of reflection and applying it to who I am and to the reflection essays that I've written over the course of this semester. One question that I wanted to hit right off the bat was, have any of your primary relationships changed or been affected by the material you have learned in this class? The answer to that is yes. In my reflection essay that I wrote corresponding to that particular module was that over the course of the semester, I wanted to work on the relationship between me and my internal self. I wanted to work on this because I often go through times where I'm second-guessing myself with a specific topic, or I hold back my feelings and emotions because I don't want it to cause any conflict between me and the opposing party. This relationship is obviously important to me because I want to feel comfortable in my own body with the decisions I say or do. I don't want to have to live in some kind of fear because I'm afraid of what others will think of me, and that's okay. And since then, with the help of this class, I've improved the relationship with myself, accepting myself and the decisions I make and the way I do things. I feel more healthier with the decisions I make, and very rarely do I second guess myself. Another area that I wanted to talk about was the question, are you behaving differently on dates, with your friends, or at work, based on things you have learned in this class? Since the beginning of this class started, I have taken things that I have learned and applied them to my everyday life. With that said, since this class started, I've tried to apply those little things that I've learned in the particular setting that I'm surrounded in, whether that be at work, with friends, or with a partner on a date. I'm still behaving the same way because that's just who I am, but I'm thinking of these areas of nonverbal communication and still applying it to the situation. For example, when I'm at work, surrounded with friends, I'm still able to give that quote-unquote eye contact to someone to let them know that they should engage in the conversation or just stay out of it. Another example is with touch. In my reflection, I talk about how it's important to understand the fine line of PDA with a partner and to know that displaying public affection makes people uncomfortable. So no, I'm not behaving differently in any type of way. I'm just keeping these things in the back of my head so I'm able to apply them when I need them. To close out this presentation, one final area that I wanted to go over was the prompt question, did you find that you already knew a lot of the information we covered in class? The answer to that was yes, most definitely. I've learned a little about touch and attraction to specific people, eye contact, facial cues that give the wrong ideas, and work performance. A lot of what we have talked about over the course of this semester, I have learned before. I want to say the topic that brought me the most interest this semester was learning about attraction. That specific module really opened my perspectives of seeing attraction and how humans see attraction towards each other. The video that we watched back in week 6 from D News talking about why we were attracted towards certain people, I think one thing that I took away from that video the most was knowing the different chemicals that are released in your brain when you are around someone who you find attractive and feel comfortable. I knew a little about this prior to this module just from personal experience and learning about it in other classes, and I think it's super interesting with how it functions in our body and in our brain. In my reflection that week, I talked about how we as college students are pressured at this place in our lives of finding someone who we think will be the one. I also personally talked about how chemistry is one of the more important key roles in a relationship, including my own. I have to be able to feel some type of spark to be with someone. And an area that I didn't really connect well with this semester was probably the reflection essay that we were to write on quasi-courtship. I just feel like it was a topic that has a lot of attention surrounding when all it is someone being generous and nice to another person and not expecting anything out of it. I just didn't connect with it as well as I did with some of the others. Thank you for listening to my presentation.